morning, and thank you for always staying tuned to our Cactv. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's your newspaper review and the morning dew. My name is Modo Dominic, and I'm sure you guys all had a wonderful and a fantastic weekend as much as I did. It's quite a chilling day. So with me is...
Yeah, good morning. My name is Shegun. You can call me Shegun White. Thank you very much for having us this morning, and I hope that you woke up on the bright side of the day today.
So how was your weekend?
Our weekend was very fun filled with, thank God.
That's good to hear. Mine was quite interesting too, but hectic. So we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take our first quote for the day, and then we'll look at what we have on the newspaper review this morning. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Yes, thank you for staying tuned. It's still your morning dew and the newspaper review. So we'll take our first quote for the day. So could you help us, White?
Right. The quote for the day says, "And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists, and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him." That is from the book of Hebrews 11:6. And this is charging us to cultivate unwavering faith, knowing that God rewards those who earnestly seek Him. If we don't faint and we keep on seeking the face of God in everything that we are looking for, we will surely be rewarded. And that's the quote for the day this morning.
Thank you so much. And I love other there's one of this translation that says that you must first believe that He is the rewarder. You must first believe. That is the first thing that we need to do. First, you have to believe. You have to know that He is the only one who can reward you in all that you do. I pray God help us to continue to stay steadfast and hold on to the faith that we have in Christ, and He will come through for us. Okay, let's look at this first story that we have, and the story is taken from the Punch newspaper. And this says CBN loan to manufacturers. Power firm rises to 5.6 trillion naira. 5.6 trillion naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria intervention in the power, manufacturing and aviation sector have risen to 5.6 trillion naira in 3 years, according to findings by the Punch. The soft loan were advanced amid the continued and varied challenges facing the key sector of the economy. The Apex Bank loan to the three sector were obtained from the CBN result and account between 2020 and 2022. The report, which showed credit concentration in the various sectors of the economy, indicated that power, aviation and manufacturing sector recorded an aggregation of 5.6 trillion naira in loans from the central bank. This is a story that we find in this Punch newspaper, and this is talking about the loans that has been given, the central bank intervention in the loan. It's quite interesting that we have, the central bank coming into this in having a mind to come through for us in times like this, and seeing that the 5.6 trillion naira is quite a huge sum of money. What do you think?
Yeah, it's quite a huge sum of money, and CBN loan coming in at this time to manufacturers and to power firms. Yes, it's a good, to me it's a good call. okay, now that we've heard that, was it not last week that we heard that some companies are folding up
Exactly.
in our country today, and some are, you know, moving out of the country because of one issue or the other. Let's say from power to, you know,
The cost is quite expensive on the high side.
The inflation, the dollar rising, affecting the naira, the economy is just in a very sorry state. So, if the CBN is loaning manufacturers right now, and then we are having our own thing, you know, proudly Nigerian.
Exactly.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Okay, so we'll look at the second story that we have, and this one says Niger, ECOWAS rejects junta's 3 years transition plan. The Economic Community of West African Nigerian States has rejected Niger junta's 3 years power transition plan. ECOWAS Commissioner of Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Abdel Fattah Musa, stated this during an interview with the BBC on Sunday. The Punch reported that the head of military junta in Niger Republic, General Abdurrahman Tiani, on Saturday said he would relinquish power within 3 years and warned that any intervention by foreign forces would not be a walk in the park. He stated in a televised address broadcast by Tele Sahel, "Our ambition is not to confiscate power. The transition period will not exceed 3 years. Meanwhile, political parties are urged to submit their vision for the transition within 30 days. So, and this is another story that we have in the Punch newspaper. So what's your take on this?
I don't know why I'm laughing.
Okay, explain why you're laughing.
You know, seriously, we need to look at this critically on both sides. The part of on the side of democracy and
military,
and the side of military, you know, taking over the power, and what is going to happen between the space of 3 years. Having said that, if the military is saying that they need 3 years to be able to, you know, plan around, put things together, I'm sensing that the military there's a whole lot to
unravel.
You need 3 years to be able to be in power. You want to be in power for 3 years before
you can now consider
whether you're going to hand over to the political parties or to civilian rule again. And let's not forget, there's a popular saying that power intoxicates.
Exactly.
By the time you are in power, you wouldn't want to leave power.
Hand over.
You wouldn't want to hand over, because you will see things that you have not seen before. You will experience things that you have not experienced before. So why ECOWAS is coming in, because I get a lot of reactions to this, that ECOWAS is they should just leave them alone. Niger Republic, they are old enough to
make their decisions
and all. But if ECOWAS is saying no, we are not. We need to. I think I need to support ECOWAS on this.
They can't stand alone. Niger can't stand alone, because
not even Niger per se. You know, the military can't just come into power and say we want to. So which
forcefully
means another set of military
can just forcefully come in and
say
place.
We also want to take over power, and we are spending 17 years. We want to take another. We just come and say we want to take over power. We want to spend 10 years.
Okay.
So it's I think God will grant ECOWAS the grace to be able to have a tete-a-tete or a jojo with this military junta, that they would transit, instead of 3 years, to be reduced to 30 days. which they are given political parties
oh, yes, to come up with their vision.
And also, having said that, also, the political parties or the civilian rulers should also come up with a plan also. You see, I think military is not just taking over the government because they are seeing laxities in some parts of the government, you know, corruption and all that, you know, and it's very popular with Africans. And I pray God will help us, you know. The parties, the civilians, the leaders should come with a plan. They have given you something to work on. Come up with a plan. This is the vision we have for the people. People are yearning. Okay, the military is taking over now. People are celebrating. So what message is that sending to you? So, like, seriously, I just pray God will help them.
Yes, and I really hope that you know, these parties that have been given the opportunity to come with a plan will come up with something that would convince them that, okay, truly we can actually do this without you having to forcefully, you know, put us in a place where we cannot reverse. Okay, so that's the second story that we have on the Punch newspaper. So still moving forward, we have another story still on the Punch newspaper, and this says farmers abandon farms. 23 Sokoto, Zamfara, Kebbi, LGs under bandits. Residents of at least 23 local government areas in Sokoto, Zamfara and Kebbi states are battling to survive as kidnappers, cattle rustlers, bandits make life difficult for them. A check by the News Agency of Nigeria indicates that residents of the affected areas have been forced to migrate, enter into an agreement with the criminals, or live a life of uncertainty. And in Sokoto State, residents said local government area worst affected are Isa, Sambon, Bini, Guadabawa, Ilela, Tangasa, and Koroyo. So these are the states that have been affected, and you know, how long are we going to wrestle with all of this? It's really so sad that people can no longer go about their daily activity, especially now we are still complaining that transportation is on a high, and then food is quite expensive. You know, this is all because of things like this that people are going through day by day. They are afraid to go to their farmlands to make sure that they can, you know, produce something to sustain them and also sustain the people at large. But when things like this continues, people are now afraid. Imagine them migrating to somewhere safe for them. Okay, aside from the fact that they are migrating for their own lives, how will they survive? So I strongly believe that is really a call for attention, where the government of this state or our president will have to also see how they can put in security to make sure all of this, you know, does not continue. What exactly are they out for? Are these kidnappers looking for something? Are they coming for ransom? Are they asking for ransom? What exactly are they looking out for? Or they just want, you know, to destabilize the peace and mind of people? What's your take on this?
You see, we need to address issues in this country that needs to be addressed. I think I'm of the opinion that we should call a spade a spade. We are facing what we call, well, simply put, insecurity in this country, which is giving birth to a lot of things coming up. Okay, if the livelihood, there's this proverb in Yoruba. I'm going to interpret in English. It says, if you want to take my livelihood, if you want to take anything from me, don't take my livelihood. Do you understand?
Exactly.
You know, if you take my wife, fine. If you take my house, fine. But don't take my source of food from me. That means you are actually after my life. You take my wife, I know you're after my property. You take my house, I know you're after my property. It's understandable. Everybody can take over anything. But if you are taking where I'm eating, that means you actually want me. You want me out. Live again. You want me out. So if these bandits are now coming in, they are not taking your money, they are not taking your properties, they are not collecting your cars. We know those are thieves, normally armed robbers. But they are going to farmlands, you know, taking their cattle, just their source of livelihood, the source of, because the basic amenities of life, basic what do you call it, of life, livelihood is your food, shelter, and clothes. Okay, food, clothes, and shelter. So food comes first. By the time you cut off the food, the feed for a people, you've
rendered them useless.
This is a time bomb ticket. So I think government needs to work more on the security in this country, and it's being directed to some of the food powerhouse of Nigeria. The government needs to do more. The government needs to do. I was listening to one of the military personnel talking about, you know, no, was it? It wasn't a military personnel. It was an ex-military personnel talking about, you know, hierarchy and how military operations go about in this country. That we need a reform. If something is happening in a particular place, they will have to get a, what do you call it now? They will have to get an authority, get a permission from somewhere before you can, you know, something is happening in my area, so I have to call my superior. Something is happening in my area, something that needs urgent
response,
attention. So there should be reforms around this thing, because we can't just be saying our government should be. We'll have to sit down and talk about it. Let's have a reform. Security is very key in this country, and we need the government to do something, to do more about it.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, quickly, we'll go on a break, and when we come back, we'll let you know the stories that we have on Vanguard newspaper. So please stay tuned and go nowhere. We'll be right back shortly.
What do we have here? Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. Digital satellite TV box. Oh, nice. Nice. I got my Morplex decoder. Thank you very, very much. And all of these. Thank you guys for bringing this for me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Morplex TV is the new dawn of pay TV services, redefining African entertainment for every home, with a variety of packages that are pocket-friendly, flexible, and provide maximum entertainment for everyone. Watch out for this. You do not want to miss this. Hop on this train right now.
Morplex.
Hello. Thank you very much.
Yes, welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned. You're still watching Cactv, and this is your morning dew, and we are looking at the newspaper review for the day. So we'll take our next story from the Vanguard newspaper, and the first story on Vanguard says, "Stop Wike, Oyetola, Umahi, others life pensions, Sarab tells Tinubu." Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SARAB, has urged President Bola Tinubu to ensure the stoppage of further collection of life pensions and other allowances of former governors who are serving as ministers in his administration from the state while they serve as ministers. Sarab also urged the president to instruct the former governors to immediately return any pension and allowances that they may have collected since leaving office to the public treasury. The affected former governor who are now ministers in Tinubu administration include Badiru Abubakar, Nyesom Wike, Bello Matawale, Adeboyega Oyetola, David Umahi, and Simon Lalong, Atiku Bagudu, and Ibrahim Gadam. In a letter to President Tinubu dated August 19, 2023, and signed by Sarab's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, the organization said the appointment of former governors who collected life pensions while serving as ministers is implicitly forbidden by the Nigerian Constitution. In 1999 as amended, and the country's international legal obligation. So this is quite an interesting topic that we have at hand. I say it's interesting because we have these people coming as ministers and then they still enjoy the benefits of being former, not just the current, former. When they say something is former, it means that this thing is past and they were supposed to have stopped all of these things. The fact that they are still enjoying benefits that as those who are still in power actually calls for a lot of concern. Yeah. And then knowing that they are also now ministers is enough reason for them to, give up all of that. How do you want to explain where people are eating in two ways?
You see, Mother, you see, this, if I'm not, I would not, I don't know how to start this, because really, this is what everybody's talking about. A lot of reactions have trailed this particular report that ministers, former ministers, politicians are being circulated over and over and over again, getting rewards, getting paid over and over and over again,
while not on duty.
It's what on duty, not on duty, on seat, not on seat, and this thing keeps going round the same circle of elite, while others are being impoverished and suffering. Like seriously, the level of the livelihood of people right now, I don't know. Like my heart is burning. A lot of instances that I could say. A lot of things that is on my mind. That's why I'm like,
where do I beat it from?
I'm just looking for where the point is gonna come from. Because if our ministers, what our national anthem says, arise, compatriots, to serve with heart
and might.
Now, our leaders serving with their heart and with their mind, do they have that conscience? Do they have that compassion? Like our patriots, our patriarchs, our leaders of the past who fought for our independence, who fought that would be in this freedom that we have, that we're enjoying right now. Okay, so I don't know. Well, that's on one part. On the second part, Sarab suing these people and telling
President
Tinubu to stop their life pensions. I want to ask a question. I don't know. I'm not expecting you to answer the question. That how many cases that Sarah have sued that we have gotten
response to
a positive, not just a response,
okay.
a positive response. That we can say, oh, Sarah came into this situation
and it was sorted.
That's the issue. That's the issue. Do you know how people are suffering? People are going through a lot. I read in one of our dailies, some people, car owners, they are not cab drivers. Car owners have now been turned or have turned drivers or taxi drivers or cab drivers. Car
Just to
owners
sustain themselves.
just to sustain themselves, and we see a lot of them. Even coming to the studio this morning. I mean, things are getting out of hand. Let's not
fine tune it.
Let's not fine tune it, my dear. Things are turning out of hand, and government needs to. There's something we call boiling point or diminishing return in economics and in science. You know, when something gets to a boiling point, Yoruba will say, if you are chasing after a goat, a goat is very stubborn. You are chasing after a goat, chasing after a goat, chasing after a goat. The goat will keep running as long as there is
a path to
run. But when the goat gets to a place, that boiling point, that point of no return, the goat will eventually turn back and start chasing you. Thank God the goat has horns.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is what is happening. We just talked about, I'm hoping so.
It really calls for a lot of attention. So the next story that we have still on Vanguard newspaper says, brutally frank, many governors are wealthier than their states. And this is a speech by Clark, former Federal Commissioner for Information and South-South leader, Pa Edwin Clark, has accused many state governors of using the position to amass wealth overnight to the extent of being wealthier than their states. He also accused them of spending their security votes without accountability. Clark, who stated this in his 688-page autobiography titled Brutally Frank, regretted that corruption has been the undoing of Nigeria. The 25-chapter book, which was launched in Abuja last Thursday, revolves around Clark's journey as a classroom teacher, commissioner, minister, senator, and nationalist, spanning over 70 years. Wow, this is quite interesting. You know, this brings us back to the story that we just discussed, how our governors, you know, we have people who are still enjoying from things that they are not working for, all in the name of is allowance. And then here somebody is coming out to say many governors are wealthier than their states themselves. Come on. This is not it's not trying to fine-tune a story. It's not saying what is not real. This is actually reality coming into play. So we have to say the same thing. It still boils down to what we have already discussed about. You know, how can
Clark used a phrase here and titled his book, I think in chapter 23, and titled the book Kleptocracy in Our Society. And I went to look at what is kleptocracy, because we need knowledge. Now, kleptocracy is a government. Listen, kleptocracy is a government whose corrupt leaders, you know, is not even
corrupt.
It's corrupt leaders, not even leaders. Not that the leaders are. No, it's a corrupt. So it's a bad situation. Now, whose leaders use political power to expropriate the wealth of the people, not their own wealth, the wealth of the people, and land they govern, typically by embezzling or misappropriating government funds at the expense of the wider population. Now, this is exactly long and short of what our today politicians, not all of them really, let's be guided, not all of them, but majority of our politicians in Nigeria, this is their audio. This is what they are doing. And funny enough, we have many of the upcoming politicians also who are also aspiring for posts or for leadership positions, who are not, they don't have that mind to go there to do something tangible.
Yes.
They also want to follow the bandwagon.
That is what it is. As far as Nigeria is concerned, it's more like a trend.
And this is so very bad. Now, many governors, just like Clark said, are wealthier than their states. They are wealthier than their states. And I know of one or two governors, if I want to mention now, one or two governors who already have their wealth, not money, wealth, before coming into government. And when they are coming in, well, I wouldn't want to say something because we are on air.
National TV.
So things are happening, despite the fact that they are not having revenues, despite the fact that their revenue is very low. Things are happening. They are bringing in things, their ideas, their influence. We have some of them who have gone to, other parts of the world, gone to abroad, had experiences there. And having said that, do you know most of our politicians is not in news, is not new anymore. All of them go abroad. They go to the US, they go to Canada, they go to
it's
London.
a norm. It's a norm.
They see things happening. They just want to enjoy it there, and they come here and become a local champion. They just want to keep sponsoring this poverty of a thing, so that they will have more subordinates instead of citizens.
Yeah.
I don't know. God will help us in this country.
Exactly our prayer, and we trust God to come through for us as always. Okay, so we'll go on another quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk on the story that we have on the Nation newspaper. We'll be right back shortly.
What do we have here?
Thank you, Moplex. Thank you very much. I appreciate my goodies. Thank you, Moplex TV. Oh my God. What do we have here? Oh wow. Oh really?
Yes, with the wine.
All of this?
Yes.
And this?
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you. Everything. Thank you so much. So what's gonna happen?
Yes.
Thank you, Moplex. Thank you very much. I appreciate my goodness. Thank you. And keep on watching. Wow, this is so cute. Thank you. We offer our subscribers daily subscription options for as low as 120 Naira on Jara and 250 Naira on Federal.
Moplex.
welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. It's still your morning dew and the newspaper review. So we'll look at the next story, at least the last story that we have from Vanguard newspaper, and this says Lagos pensioners seek audience with Governor Sanwo-Olu. Members of the Lagos State chapter of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners, NUP, under the new contribution pension scheme, have petitioned Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, seeking to meet with him over the plight of pensioners in the state. State Police Public Relationship Officer Bright Edafe in a statement. You know, in the petition by Omisande Michael and Olagbaye Johnson, chairman of the General Secretary, respectively, amongst others, said we will have so many outstanding pensions from 2020 till date. So this is the story that we have from the last story that we have in Vanguard newspaper. So what's your take on this? Let me start with you.
Okay, mothers. How I wish we have the governor seated here so that we can ask him some questions. You know.
How did we get here?
How did we get here? How did we get here? Okay. Can I say most of the stories that we've talked about this morning have really revolved around the same
intertwine.
The same
circle.
Thing. The same thing. Okay. There are some things that you do that. Let me not go there. Now let's talk about this. You know, this pensioners issue has been for long.
Not today.
Not today. You know, like the pidgin English people will say, he don't take. No, it's not today. Okay? Pensioners. Now, we just talked about our political leaders, past or present, who came into power, into positions. They are well paid. Their salaries were not owed
at all.
Because
how did we get?
Can you hold a governor's? No, the person who's on seats. No, you can't hold a governor's.
Even those
salary.
who are out of seats. We've never had a day. There has not been any day where we hear that, oh, they came out and said they've been owed about, you know, their dues are not being given to them. How? So I think I think sometimes I just sit down and you know, tell myself, this is actually a deliberate act. You know, one of the news that we had last week, you know, stated how we have these people going over and over to them asking for their pension. These are older people who are not supposed to be going through this stress. These are people who have served us so well, and they are not supposed to be going through, you know, stresses like this. They are not supposed to be begging, you know, the governor, the president. They are not supposed to be begging those whom they have served to give them their
you know, when someone works, he's entitled to his wages, reward, to his wages. Even the Bible supports it. The Word of God said it, that the sweat of the laborer should not dry up. I'm entitled to my opinion, but this is just me talking. I think these pensioners and many other issues are the reasons why we are experiencing all these ups and downs. And
we have people seated in the office and then eating these people's sweat, embezzling it.
Exactly.
How did we get here?
Okay,
you know,
from political leaders who their lifestyle alone can pay the salary of the whole state
with ease.
Their logistics alone,
without stress.
Now coming to this pension section now, you would not be surprised to hear that this money might have been released. And
then one person is seated there embezzling it.
Did not release the money to them. I have series of them. I mean, these pensioners, I have a story. Somebody in the studio here is also a victim of this. I have people around me who are victim of this, and not victim alone, victim of death as a result of this pension being owed. Elderly people, aged people, people who have been yearning and waiting for their money.
And this money we're talking about is not one huge sum of
They are
money.
not millions.
And then you still have, you're paying them this little, and then you're still depriving them
of that little that they are supposed to have. Do you know that? Okay, now this pension that we're talking about is not pension of this year. We have from 2020 till date. From 2020 being owed till date, 3 years now. 3 years. Please, the lifestyle or the economic situation in 2020 is not the same as 2023 right now. So even if you are paying them now, it might not still
cover up
for the bills
that they have on
ground. A lot of them have gone
hand.
into debt. A lot of them have been embarrassed. A lot of them have been kicked out of their houses. They are homeless. I saw a video on the net. You know, it was a trending video. Actually, it was one of these online philanthropists that went there, you know, and saw this Baba sitting down, hopeless, head bowed, and he had to talk to the Baba, and one thing led to another. He had to, you know, take care of the Baba, give him some things, and then because he put it on the online, you know what they do on social media, and a lot of people who are, you know, who has money just, you know, supported and made the Baba's life worthwhile, even in his old age.
The man obviously was not as old as he was looking. After he was being reformed, you needed to see the transformation. He was looking so young and, you know, good looking. But why? Because
a lot of people are looking old today. They are looking old because
they can't sustain themselves.
Because of Nigeria. They are looking old. And those who are supposed to be old are looking young because they are up there eating everything. So it's a very sorry state. We are appealing that Governor Sanwo-Olu would look into this petition and do something about it. This one we are talking about is a chicken chain compared to what our leaders are eating or embezzling. It's a chicken change. Come on.
Okay, so when we look at, we'll take a story from the Nation's newspaper, and that will be the second story that we have there. And the story says Naira Marley, NDLA spokesman, announcing Naira Marley as the latest addition to the anti-drug war troop known as WADA, War Against Drug Agency. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLA, established on December 29, 1989, is stacked with drug confiscation and related operation to. Okay, so this is a story. Let me not go further into a lot of details as regards that. So we already know that Naira Marley was made
or have been made.
Okay, has been made the ambassador for drug enforcement.
NDLEA.
And
should we say
this going through my head? I'm like, how, what exactly is going on here? Of all persons, of all people, we are now having Naira Marley. Okay, maybe. Maybe we are the one thinking otherwise, or should we applaud them? No, wow. This is not something that needs to be taken lightly. But before I go further, what's your take on this?
What's my take? Your take is my take. Your take is my take this morning on this one. Should
we say they know better, or what's behind this? There has to be more to this.
To an extent, we have to get to a point whereby we'll be asking for reviews from our viewers, so that we'll not be the only one talking.
You know,
on these issues. You know, so that let's hear from our people. What do they think? What do they think? If our viewers can hear me or can be able to talk back at me now, I'll just ask them, please, what do you think? Like, seriously, what do you think? How do you make, how did it get here? How do you make someone who is, who you know, that we all know is or might be taking substances, and make an ambassador of NDLA against, well, maybe what I'm thinking is this Yoruba, is it proverb now or adage? Yoruba will say, Omo Aronsino. Okay? That means we send the child of the fire to go and meet fire. Say, your papa na fire, go and meet your papa. You understand? So I don't know I don't know where NDLA is going with.
Honestly, this is really an audacious gamble.
I don't know where they are going with this.
Just as stated, just as the headline has stated. How do we explain this? You know, someone whose reputation is questionable, whose personality is questionable, and then we're making, it's more like saying we're making Fela pastor.
Exactly. Or a GO.
You just wake up one morning and then they say Fela's become,
Fela is in charge of
has become that the GO of a certain church. I know there is a place where, you know, people change, but then it's a change that people see. It is evidence in the eyes of people.
If it had been a case of an ex-convict,
yes, we would have known that, okay, this person,
okay, we'll know, yes, we'll know that, okay, now this guy is changed,
has gone through a pruning process.
Yes, I've been rehabilitated. We have a lot of people who are into substance taking, okay, who take substance, who are I mean, basically addicts, who have passed through rehabilitation process, and they are better people today. And that's where I'm going to give kudos to churches, to some churches who go through the pain of bringing these people, even to the extent of going to prisons. I think CAC does that, Redeem does that. I apologize for mentioning names. And there are other ministries also. The church is working tirelessly, because that is the essence of the gospel.
Yes.
They working tirelessly to go into these missions, bring out these people, transform their lives, because something led to something that made them enter into something.
Of course.
Okay, so they went into this, rehabilitated them. Why not go to those people and tell them, you have been in this experience before. This is your experience. You know what it is. I was in church yesterday, and my pastor was preaching and was talking about spirits, something, a spirit moving you. What is the spirit moving you? If there's a spirit moving you, that Hannah was praying in Shiloh, and Eli, the pastor, came and said, Hannah, why are you praying like someone who is drunk? Why would you be drunk and come to church and be praying and be displaying all this? And the woman was like, it is what is, I'm
facing,
that's making me behave this way. Okay, so my pastor was now like, if you are moved, then there is a spirit moving you. He now had to tell us, I'm going somewhere. He said, if you see someone walking and the movement is not straight, you say, it's like this person is on alcohol. And he has been an alcoholic before, and he knows how. So he is telling us that if you think drinking would make you okay, or will take off the stress, or will do some things for you, no, you are joking. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if someone like that, my pastor, who has been in the state of taking stuff, alcohol, and is now changed, that if you look at him, you won't think as this man ever tasted alcohol before. So that is it. Those are the people that you can make an ambassador for war against drug.
As in war against drug. And this is somebody who takes it without having to, it doesn't hide it.
This is someone who advertises it.
Who takes it with pleasure.
In fact, is their president. Is the next generation of fella.
No, honestly, this really needs to calls for a lot of attention. We need to really look at it. There is more to this than this paper is actually telling us right now. So, but that is where we'll you know, call it a shot and go into the world of sport. So quickly, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take the stories that we have on the world of sport. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back shortly.
Thank you, Moplex. Thank you very much. I appreciate my goodies. Thank you, Moplex TV. Oh my God. What do we have here? Oh wow. Oh, really?
Yes, with the wine.
All of this?
Yes.
And this?
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you. Everything. Thank you so much. So, what's gonna happen?
Yes.
Thank you, Moplex. Thank you very much. I appreciate my goodness. Thank you. And keep on watching. Wow, this is cute. We offer our subscribers daily subscription options for as low as 120 Naira on Jara and 250 Naira on Federal.
Moplex.
To take the sport right now, and White is going to help us with that. So thank you.
All right, welcome back. In the world of sports, as we all know, the 2023 FIFA World Cup in Australia and New Zealand ended yesterday on Sunday, and Spain defeated England by 1-0 in the final to win the trophy. A first-half goal from Olga Carmona ensured Spain defeated England at the Stadium Australia. Japan's Inata Miyazawa won the Golden Boot for the tournament's top scorer with 5 goals. France Kadidiatu Diani won the Silver Boots award, and Germany's Alexandra Popp won the Bronze Boots award. England's Mary Earps was named the FIFA Best Women's Goalkeeper earlier this year, has been awarded the Adidas Golden Glove Award after earning 3 clean sheets and making a host of fine saves, including a penalty in the final against Spain. Japan was awarded the FIFA Fair Play Award after finishing first in the Fair Play contest. Spain's Salma Paraluelo won the FIFA Best Young Player Award after scoring crucial goals in both the quarterfinals and semifinals. Her teammate Aitana Bomati won the Golden Ball Award for the best player of the tournament, and Jennifer Hermoso won the Silver Ball Award, and Sweden's Amanda Ilesti won the Bronze Ball Award. It was a very wonderful World Cup, Women's World Cup. Modok, I think you two should start playing football now. We are bringing.
Honestly, I'm actually looking into that. Maybe I'll start first with the training. Maybe you would help me with the training aspect.
No, I'm not a coach. Also, in the world of sports, ladies and gentlemen, EPL. We go to the EPL yesterday. It was a very, very sad moment, I must say, for Chelsea fans all over the world, as Pochettino raids Caicedo's Chelsea debut after defeat at West Ham. Chelsea manager Mauricio Pochettino has refused to blame Moises Caicedo following their 3-1 loss at West Ham on Sunday. The Blues were already 2-1 down when Caicedo came on and gave a late penalty. It was his first appearance for Chelsea since they agreed a British record transfer fee of £115 million with Brighton for the Ecuadorian. The 21-year-old looking rusty and conceded the penalty for the Hammers' third goal, which was scored by Lucas Paqueta. When asked about Caicedo's debut for the club, Pochettino told reporters after the match, "He did well, many positive things. Last minute we considered a goal, so we can't say nothing is wrong." That's according to Pochettino. A lot of Chelsea fans all over the world, especially around my area, were in shock and were angry. In fact, angered, like the Bible English, you know,
would say.
they were angered
in their spirit and soul.
Their spirits went down, and a lot of people are. You can't even walk on the street and say up Chelsea, because they're gonna come for you. Well, like seriously, it was a shock. It was a shock loss to Chelsea yesterday. I wasn't expecting Chelsea to lose that much, you know.
No.
But it is what it is.
Yes, in every game there is always a winner. Someone wins and someone loses. So, but if you win, yeah, we rejoice. If you lose, we also, you know, sympathize with you, you know. So even the Bible says sympathize with those who are sympathizing, and then rejoice with. So at this point, we know, sympathize with the Chelsea fans out there. Say, please take heart. Is one of those things. Wow. It's actually one of those things. So when it happens like that, take it in good faith, and just hope that the next phase you would become the winner. So at this point, this is where we draw a curtain for today's program, for today's newspaper review. Thank you so much, my amazing viewers, for always staying tuned. You guys are the best, and we are always here to give you and dish out hot gist for you. Thank you so much. And your last word for the people.
Yes, my last word for the people. Please stay positive, be encouraged. Okay, go out there, do your thing, and be yourself. That's my
Okay, like Engineer will always say, be Nigeria, buy Nigeria, love Nigeria, show love to someone, because that is all we need at this point in time. Till we come your way, same time, same station tomorrow. Remain blessed, and bye for now.
Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. Digital satellite TV box. Oh, nice. I got my Morplex decoder. Thank you very much. And all of these. Thank you guys for bringing this for me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.